Okay, good afternoon. We will discuss how to apply Scrum. Last week, we talked about some concepts of Scrum, but today we would try to make it more practical for you to use it. And also, if we have time, we would go into another way of describing uh, user requirements. It's called use cases. Okay, so let's remind ourselves what we have learned last week. We learned that Scrum is a project management method that we call it agile. The word agile means you respond to changes very quickly and you're well coordinated. Like the people, team members uh, work together very efficiently in an agile uh, project or a project that use agile method. Okay. And we learned that comparing to waterfall method or waterfall model, usually we create lots of documents, lots of work products in a waterfall project. But in Scrum project, we keep the documentation to the minimum. We basically only create three uh, documents. One is called product backlog. Which has a wish list of user stories, and then a sprint backlog. Sprint backlog is used to manage the activity in a sprint, and a burn down chart to show in a curve going down that the remaining work in the sprint is decreasing. And we also learned last week that Scrum team people would take on one of three roles. The product owner represent the customer and give us the requirements. And Scrum Master, he's not really a project manager because he is only a person who knows Scrum practices very well to make sure that the team use Scrum correctly. And developers will, in Scrum, will do lots of work. In addition to programming, they also do a little bit of analyst work or even a little bit of testing. Okay, so in Scrum, we demand quite a bit from the developers. In fact, in the class, we even discussed that perhaps not all developers are capable of taking part in the Scrum team because of perhaps some people don't have good communication skills, for instance, because to work well in the Scrum team, everyone needs to communicate well. And we learned that a sprint lasts 1 week to 1 month. And once we decided at the project beginning, we're not going to change that. And we've learned that there are several meetings, sprint planning meetings happen at the beginning to plan what work needs to be done in the current sprint. And then daily Scrum meeting, or sometimes we call it daily stand-up meeting, is to help each other report the up-to-date progress, and very, very briefly. And we can know how much work remaining. And sprint review meeting focus on reviewing the product, what we have done. Okay, and then sprint retrospective meeting focus on the process. So the review meeting focus on the product that they have worked on, what the quality of the product, whether it meets the acceptance criteria we have written. But retrospective meeting is more in-depth. We think about how team members work together. Hi. Okay. So today we would learn a few things on about applying Scrum. One, we'll learn about something called planning poker, and also we learn the use of task board, and in Japanese it's called kanban. Okay, uh, ban means board. Ban, kan, I'm not sure whether it means looking. I haven't really seen that Japanese character. And also we would try to use the idea of persona to create some hypothetical, or some pretending that there is a real person using your user interface. Okay, and we would define the meaning of done in Scrum, because if we have different understanding of done, then we have no way of tracking where we are, like in the project. And we will explain the concepts of story points, which is used to measure amount of work. And the velocity is a number to measure the productivity of a team. So usually higher velocity means you produce more work. Okay, and if we have time, we will discuss use cases. Okay, so let's see. At the project beginning, the first thing you need to do is to create the product backlog. And for your particular project, I think some of you have you been given the project in your last tutorial? The project topic. Raymond, you did, right? Okay. So first step is you try to look for similar products on the market, so you don't have to what they say, reinvent the wheels. Okay. 英文有一句説話咧，就係 reinvent the wheel，就係其實有人做咗嘅時候咧，你就唔需要再從頭發明嗰個轆啦，因為有人發明咗，你咪就用個轆咯。OK， 咁it's the same with our product. So if you look at a product that does something very similar, then you can borrow their idea and use it as a foundation and try to improve on it. And how do you improve it? For example, if they don't do something very well, then of course you look for something like bad design in there and try to improve. And another way of, because if a product exists and you're just replicating that product, then you're not really doing something very interesting. You want to make your project interesting by improving, providing better service to the intended customers. So how do you do that? Well, one is to look for problems, design flaw in the product and improve. Another one is, well, maybe you can focus more. The word niche, sometimes you'll hear the word called niche market. It means you try to narrow a little bit your focus. For example, let me think. For example, let's say you want to make computer, okay, laptop computer. So maybe lots of people are making laptops computer. So as a company, how do you distinguish yourself? So some people may choose to make laptop computer for very hostile environment, for very like risky environment. So some people may make laptop computer that are more rugged. So like you can drop it and still doesn't break, or you can splash water on it and it still work, like it won't break. So you do something like that, you narrow the customers you want to sell to. Okay, so it's called, you're creating a small niche. Okay, so why do you want to create a small niche? Well, if there are lots of existing players in the market, fill up. If you try to compete with them is very difficult, it's very challenging. Okay, so you try to satisfy the needs of a small group of people better before you want to expand your product to serve more people. So that is one way to make your job slightly easier. And we'll see how to use persona to represent some hypothetical or fictional users. That means you imagine that someone with certain characteristics, certain background, certain interests to be some pretend make-believe users. Okay. And of course, you would put user stories in it, in the product backlog. And remember, when you write user stories, try to associate a priority to it and also the effort, some preliminary effort. So what is persona? The word persona, let's see a true example first. Okay, you try to imagine that there may be a user for your product. Maybe you give it a name to make it more personal. Maybe you call him Peter, okay? And you pretend he's 35 years old, have a marketing degree, and have some experience of doing this work. And also this is his background. He has received some Scrum training. And so this is his background, okay? And this column. And this other column shows what he wants, okay? For example, he's facing the challenge of creating a brand new product while he has managed product successfully. So he wants to use his agile knowledge to create innovative product. So looks like in this example, this team is trying to create a project management tool for someone using Scrum or using some agile method. So he come up with this persona, 一個角色 ，okay， 一個人物或者一個角色。So why go through this? Like why go through detailed background or goal? Well, it is to in English we say give a face to a person， 即係你當係有一個咁嘅人喺度嘅時候咧 ，OK， 當你設計一個產品嘅時候咧，你就更加係容易係從呢一個人嘅角度去諗咯 ，OK，so it's more you can more easily think from his perspective. So whenever the designer try to decide, is this product good? Is this product going to serve my customer well? Then the designer can pretend that he is Peter. He's trying to do this, and he has this background. So this will help us increase our chance of designing something that will meet the needs of a hypothetical user. Okay, we just created Peter. Okay, so that was in the product backlog creation part. Next, we want to hold the sprint planning meeting. Before each sprint, okay, we assume there should be a product backlog already. And if it's not the first sprint, if it's the second sprint, third sprint, then we may revise the user stories, because after the customers see what they gave us, what we gave them in the previous sprint, customer may think of new user stories. User requirement 係一樣好有趣嘅嘢咧，就係咧點解其中一個原因我哋話 Scrum 或者 Agile 係可能係比較 Waterfall 嘅方法 係比較好啲咧，就係咧，當你如果俾咗某兩三個嘅功能俾你嘅客用嘅時候咧，可能當個客睇到你嗰啲嘢嘅時候咧，佢會有新嘅諗法啊，不如之前我俾你嗰個 requirement 都唔係咁好喎 ，OK？ 可能可以再改一改，轉一轉好啲喎 ，OK？ 咁嗰個過程就係變咗咧，係有啲嘅互動。當你俾一樣新嘅嘢個客嘅時候咧，當佢到手嘅時候咧，佢又會將嗰個 requirements 又會再可能會再提升一啲啊，或者發覺啊有另外嘅做法可能更加之好啊咁樣。OK，so of course we will say later that in the middle of the sprint we don't let the customers change their requirements, but between sprints, so after one sprint and before the start of the next sprint, we allow them to give us a revision of the user stories on the product backlog. Okay, so maybe some after having seen what we gave them in the previous sprint, they may change their priority. Okay, and maybe the developer may get some experience of building the user stories, then they figure out they need to revise some effort estimation. So during the sprint planning, okay, 我想問下你而家有冇人開始寫 user stories 未啊？即係有冇 team 寫？有冇人未開始嘅？有冇人未開始嘅？咦，我問你哋開始又冇人舉手，問你未開始又冇人舉手，咁嗰啲人係唔通我而家見到呢啲係啲係咯？開始咗未啊？有冇人開始咗㗎？咁你都要有啲反應先得㗎，即係你未開始係嘛？即係OK， 不如頭一行咧又講下，咁你而家 status 係點樣啊？未開始，咁咪舉手咯，有幾難啫？舉下手。咁 OK， 我下次唔問你哋嚇，下次問即係咯，我下次問你哋後邊嗰排 OK。咁你準備咯嚇。其實咧，即係點樣教書教得好咧？即係當然個先生教得好唔好，呢個係當然好重要啦。但係咧有另外一方面咧，就係要睇下啲同學有冇反應噶嘛。即係如果咧，即係如果啲同學完全冇反應嘅時候咧，就算俾一個好好嘅先生咧，即係佢都會即係得返7成功力㗎啦。OK，咁如果你係一個唔係咁好嘅先生，又再7成功力嘅時候，咁啊唔係咁好咯。咁所以其實即係點樣可以上堂教書上得好咧？就係咧。即係大家如果可以有個互動性，所以我都有提議啲同學咧就係if you have any question, please raise your hand and ask. OK， 可唔可以話俾我聽上堂點解啲同學唔舉手咧？即係如果有問題，即係你冇可能啲嘢明晒噶嘛，但係點解唔舉手咧？咩啊？好驚醜，怕醜，係咯。咁個人都怕醜嘅，咁同埋咧，我記得我以前嘅 professor 咧有講過一個情況咧，就係話有啲人咧就會諗，可能係淨係我唔識啫咁樣。咁如果我問咗，表明我唔識嘅時候，咁啊好似好醜咁樣啦。咁但係我 professor 以前都話過俾我聽，即係當你諗到當你有啲嘢你唔識、你唔明嘅嘢咧，可能其實有一半人都係唔識唔明嘅，因為可能個先生唔知講咗去邊度啊咁樣。OK， 咁未必個責任未必喺你嗰度嘅。咁同埋如果你問問題嘅時候咧，咁又可以增加嗰個 class 嘅互動性咯。咁你諗下，如果要我聽其實我覺得係而家我以前讀書嘅時候咧，我哋一堂係1個鐘嘅啫。OK， 咁但係而家你哋係2個鐘一堂，你諗下聽同一個人講嘢講2個鐘，你係咪好悶咧 ？OK， 所以如果你有人肯即係耐時鐘俾你把聲出嚟俾大家聽下嘅時候咧，咁即係變咗冇悶咯，即係唔需要話淨係聽一個人講嘢聽晒咯。OK，so feel free to ask questions, and also when I ask you questions, so please try to give me some response. Okay, and so let's get back to here. We are trying to plan a sprint at the beginning of a sprint. We assume we have a product backlog. Now, you want to pick a few high priority user stories from the product backlog that has not been done yet. So take a few important user stories and then write acceptance criteria. I think in previous class I told you what is the acceptance criteria. Okay, for example，如果你而家係寫緊個 user story 咧，係話可以 search 譬如當我而家係去 book 酒店 ，OK，book 酒店search 酒店嘅 ，OK，咁其中一個 acceptance criteria 咧，可能就係咧，我可以個 result 咧係 order by 最平嘅 ，OK，start from the cheapest to the most expensive, or start with the highest rating to the lower rating. So those would be additional acceptance criteria because 作為一個 user story, if you just say search for hotel, it could be anything, right? You can search a hotel in so many different ways, and you can display the result in so many different ways. So, but the user's requirements may be very specific. So we want to have some acceptance criteria to make it more specific. And so at this time, user stories will pick a few ones and write the acceptance criteria. And after writing the acceptance criteria, we can try to estimate the effort better, okay? And we would also divide a user story into several developers' tasks. For example, 點樣 divide 法咧？Let's say 你而家係要去做一個動作係俾人註冊呢個嘅某啲嘢啦 ，OK， 或者book 電腦 ，OK， 當你而家係寫緊個 app 咧，係俾人 book 電腦房嘅電腦嘅 ，OK， 好簡單。咁呢個係一個 user story。OK，the user story is to book a computer in the computer room. And then, so what tasks do you need? Well, you may have one task. One task is to create a data table holding the booking information. Okay, so you need to, that's one task, to create a data table with the booking information. Okay, and then there may be another task is to create the user interface. Okay, the user interface for someone to select the computer or enter their personal information. So that's another developer task. And then perhaps the third task is saving something on the database or saving the booking on the database. So we already have three very obvious tasks. Maybe you may design slightly different. So the three tasks to book a computer is to create a data table for booking, user interface, to select the computer, and also the routine to store the data on the table. Okay, so you start with one user story written from the user's perspective, and you break it down into three developers' tasks. So you change from user's perspective, PBI, to multiple developers' tasks. And after you have done this, dividing into developers' tasks, then you can estimate how much work is required for each developer's task. Then you add them up, it becomes your total effort estimation for this user story. So this is how you would do at the beginning of a sprint And then based on the amount of time you may have for the sprint, if you have 2 weeks, 5 team members, 80 hours, or let's say 2 weeks have 10 working days, 5 team members, then one sprint can accomplish 5 times 10, 50 person days. Okay, so and then you can select the user stories that will add up to but not exceeding 50 person days. So this is how you can complete how to select user stories or PBIs from the product backlog, the main backlog, to the current sprint backlog. Okay, so usually when we estimate task effort, we want to have the whole team together. Okay, because if you just have 如果個 case 咧，淨係以前嗰啲傳統咧，就可能個 project manager 睇咗，覺得呢個 task 係需要幾多時間，咁佢就擺咗落去嘅時候咧，可能個 project manager 會睇漏嘢咧。雖然 project manager 多數係有啲經驗啊咁樣 ，but perhaps it's best that everyone on the team can have a chance to give an estimation because they may have slightly different understanding, and then by doing the estimation task together, they can clear up some confusion of what should be done or what should not be done. Okay, so we make sure that all the tasks will be completed by the end of the sprint. It means, let's say 2 weeks, you only have 10 person days. If you assigned 15 person days of work to one person, then you know it's impossible, right? Because one person only has 10 person days in 2 weeks, if 2 weeks is your sprint size. So you make sure all the tasks can be completed and you don't assign too many tasks to one person. Okay. Let's say if we have 5 person on the task, 8 hours per week, sprint size is 3 weeks, then in terms of person hours, it will be 5 times 8 times, oh, okay, sorry, I think, 5 days, 8 hours per week, 3 weeks, okay, 24 hours. Oh, I think I forgot to do, there's a mistake on this slide. What mistake? I forgot there are 5 days a week. So it should be 5 times 5 times 8 times 3. Like it's the total person hours. But probably person hours is too small, the unit. Maybe it's better to use day person day. Okay, but anyway 喺呢個 calculation 嗰度係錯咗，你明啊嘛係嘛？即係因為一個 team 五個人3個星期當然唔止120個 person hours 啦，就應該係再乘5添係有600個 person hours。It happens all the time in student project or even in real work. Some students may not do work, so you want to make sure 如果你哋個個都係好好人嘅，你想幫嗰個同學佢可以攞到分嘅 ，OK， 唔需要做 project 嘅，你覺得係好好人啦 ，OK， 但係第一剩落嚟嗰幾個人又會慘啲啦 ，OK， 去做埋嗰個人嗰啲嘢，咁同埋你亦都如果你俾佢做 free rider 嘅話咧，即係話 你俾佢即係你其實你係等於害咗佢咯，即係佢因為 this is a learning experience。同埋咧，我哋成日啲同學咧就會係喺呢一個科咧，其中一個常見嘅投訴咧就係咧個 project 你俾得我平時分只係得佔全科嘅10幾分，要我做咁多嘢，係咪好唔公平啊？有邊一個覺得係應該唔係10幾分嘅 ？OK， 冇乜人舉手喎嚇，係驚可能要即係我希望大家咧理解咧教育嗰個過程咧，其實最重要咧，其實唔係嗰件嘢係，譬如你而家上堂嘅時間，你都唔係上咗呢一堂就有幾分㗎啦，係咪？咁你又走嚟上 ，OK？ 點解？即係因為教育個過程就係想大家希望大家喺個過程入邊學到嘢，但係學嘢嘅過程咧唔係淨係上堂聽，你係真係落手做，你先學得到咯。如果你唔落手做嘅時候咧，你係永遠學咗嗰啲 theory 咧，對你嚟講係即係冇乜大幫助。OK，let's see. I need to speed up a little bit. And then we've talked about the daily Scrum meeting. Sometimes we need to clarify user stories. Clarify user requirements. And every day, in addition to reporting what problems you have encountered or you expect to encounter, you also need to report how much work left. Okay, so why do you need to do that? That means if yesterday you report, I need 3 more days to do my task, but today you said I still need 3 more days, then your teammate would know something's wrong, right? Yesterday you said 3 days left. Today you still say 3 days left. That means either you have not done anything or you discovered that the problem is more difficult than it is. Then maybe you need help. So that's why this daily reporting of how much more work left is quite important. It can detect some problems. For example, it can detect unproductive teammate. Okay, and if he's not productive, maybe you'll fire him or like think of way of helping him or her. Okay, so everyone should know what they need to do between now and the next daily Scrum meeting. And in your case, because you are doing part-time, as a part-time student, no, not part-time student, but this is only one of 4 courses that you are taking. So meeting daily is too frequent for you, but meeting once a week is not enough. So I suggest you to meet Monday once and Friday. Okay, so Friday, everyone check with each other, then they know what they need to do on Saturday and Sunday, and hopefully they have some time, because I suspect Monday to Friday you would be quite busy. So so you may need to catch up some work on Saturday and Sunday. So for your daily Scrum meeting, I suggest you to meet twice a week. Okay. In Scrum review meeting it happens at the end of the sprint, and the person responsible for each user story should demonstrate their work to the entire team, and the PO, the product owner, can check and see that the acceptance criteria are met. And sometimes we learn that if we are behind, if we cannot catch up, if we cannot complete the work, then we know we should do a better job of estimating. Okay. And retrospective meeting is more about how teammates work together. It's not so much about the product. Like the review meeting is about the product, but the retrospective meeting is about how the team work together as a team. So you need good team spirit, and appropriately you can think positive and try to support each other. Okay, so let's take a break. Let's take a 7 minutes break.